I got some Mountain Dew on her.
Oh, what shirt? I'll just slip on my Sprite.
Hello. Hello again.
We're here.
Just check in. And who are we that are here? You and me.
Thank you for tuning in to Diamond Realty Associates. I'll take the lead. Real estate update.
Did you know?
I'm Erin, and I'm joined here today with
Amber.
Trace.
Dawn.
And Trace and Don are in the cheap seats back there, so they're gonna have to use their teacher voices because we were mumbling hardcore last time.
Speak up.
I thought I was in the back last time.
You were. You and I and I.
Well, I was in the front. I was still. All right.
Anyways, today we're gonna talk. Last week we talked about tips for fall cleaning, maintenance, because it's about that time of year. This week we're starting a mini series on falling in love with your home again. Ooh, I like that, Trace.
Just came to me.
We're going to talk about more long-term maintenance to keep your home in the best shape possibly, and ways to simplify your home maintenance so you can enjoy your home and not have to do projects every weekend.
And then we'll talk about Tasty Tuesday. We're going to change that up a bit, and we have another winner to announce.
Ooh. Do we?
We do.
Fantastic.
So Dawn, what are some good maintenance tips?
All of them. Clean your house.
Just do it, man.
This is a good time of year to do like a deep cleaning though, because we do spring deep cleaning. We don't do fall deep cleaning.
And you should, because, you know, it's probably the last time you're going to be able to open your windows for 4 months.
6 months.
I'm going to be over crying in the corner, excuse me.
Yeah, so it's always a good time to test things and clean things and, you know, put things away.
Is that a sneeze?
So,
Well, last week you told us about how your sump pump
yes.
flooded, but I feel like we should just explain to people how to test it, because that's kind of a big thing. I mean, we talked about it a little bit, but we can reiterate. It's important.
It is.
And a lot of people have them.
True.
Mm-hmm.
Some people don't. It's crazy. But, yeah, our sump pump is, just, you know, even just to go down there and make sure there's no water in there, or if the water is dispersing out of the house.
And there is a test button, or some people it's almost like the floater in a toilet, right? You just in the back of the toilet. That probably sounds disgusting. When you test your toilet to flush, it's very similar in a sump pump. Some sump pumps.
So restart the pump to test to see if it's running. Unplug it, plug it back in. You can pour water into the sump crack to make sure that it's running and pumping, and then just making sure you're removing any of that debris from the outside, because I think we forget about that sometimes.
For new homeowners, what is a sump crock, Trace?
Well, it's
What's a crock?
like
Like
crock
your crock
pot.
pot.
Like a big hole?
It is.
Is it the pit?
It's the pit.
It's what's holding everything. That's where it's recognizing that water's coming in.
And if you ever try to get all of the water out of your crock, it's not going to happen, because I tried to do that because we
It
were
just
trying
keeps
to.
coming in.
It keeps coming. Well, that day it did, because we were. It just kept coming in.
I'm envisioning Dawn with like a bucket scooping out of
exactly
her
what I
sump
was
pump
doing.
Like
hole,
a little cup,
and it
she's
just keeps coming.
I did. I had a little beach pail and a Tupperware bowl.
Why is this not on video?
Because I was cursing, and that would have been really bad. And I was covered in water.
I'm envisioning you dressed up like Lucy and everything going awry.
Yeah, 'cause
Lucy!
that happened. But I did get a whole bunch of rocks out of the pit.
So now it's good to
So,
go.
It is good to go, and it's like if you stand outside and my sump pump hose goes off, you will be drenched.
So how long has it been since you checked it, Dawn?
My sump pump was 12 years old.
And you haven't ever checked it?
Well, yeah, we check it all the time because it. Yeah, we kind of. We do, because he'd been shaking. Mike had been shaking the check valve because that's where the rocks were getting stuck, and that's what happened. Is the check valve got plugged,
Oh, okay.
and then it overworked the sump pump. The sump pump actually was working still, but by putting in a new one, it's completely night and day.
What it removes.
Volume of water should be moving out of your house.
How often do you think people should be checking on their sump pumps?
I think if you don't have a battery backup that automatically checks it for you to see if it's faulty, then
Right.
probably at least before any good rainfall or any melt when you think it's going to get used.
Right. And I think even when it's raining,
Check it.
to check it, because you should hear it release that water into either the drain or outside in your yard. So you should hear that. It's not like it's silent.
Because we don't want to be cleaning up water from our basement.
Yes.
Never again.
And I can't stress enough a battery backup, because if something happens, it's a lot of stress off of your back that there's something there checking it for you.
Right, and with that battery backup too, they actually have Wi-Fi backups. So like if it were to like signal that your sump pump died, it would
Alert you.
send you an alert on your phone.
Danger, Will Robinson.
Danger.
That's all I can think of.
Run home.
And these are fairly inexpensive things to
Absolutely.
do. I mean, what was your sump pump? Like a couple hundred?
$150.
150. What's a battery backup?
I think it was maybe $50.
So-
We got the cheaper one that doesn't have the Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
But totally worth it compared to think about what it's going to cost to replace all your carpet downstairs, etc. So
And
True.
with an insurance claim, they're gonna give you money for what stage your stuff was in. So if you had old carpet down there, they're not gonna pay everything for you to get new carpet.
No.
And if you're gonna replace your carpet, you might as well get new carpet. So you will be paying out of pocket,
Absolutely.
unless your house was built 6 months ago.
Unless your house was built 12 years ago and you didn't finish your basement yet.
So another way to avoid water in your basement is to clean your window wells, because there can be water pressure in there if we have like a buildup of debris. So just making sure that you're cleaning those leaves and debris out of there. If there's any sort of drainage pipe that's being looked after, especially after extended rainfall, that water pressure against the basement window can be intense.
I think another good thing too is to make sure you have the peat rock down there, because that'll help soak up some of the water before it goes down into your drain tile as well, to help the sump pump work less.
And I think a lot of times when we're out looking at houses, it's just one of those things that gets forgotten, but you can see like people just leave stuff in there. They forget about it. It's kind of out of sight, out of mind.
Raccoons. We're
Oh,
not raccoons in there.
bunnies.
We found frogs in one.
Yeah. Bunnies and
Hopping
squirrels.
away. Yeah.
Poor little critters. So when you're out there cleaning out your window wells, another good thing you should be doing is cleaning out your gutters.
We
guys.
not tell you enough
Gutters.
how
Clean your
important your
gutters.
gutters
Dead horse, we're eating it. Gutters.
Gutters,
Thank you.
gutters, gutters.
Clean your gutters. Put gutters on.
Put your downspouts down.
Leave your downspouts down. If you're mowing, put it back.
Pay a teenager if you really don't want to. Have them clean it.
Okay, that's our dead horse. Literally every time we talk about
Moving on.
maintenance.
We will talk about it again next week.
Some safety things to check for mice nests anywhere near wiring, or any little creatures, really.
Right, and especially voles in our area around here too, because as it gets colder, they kind of like to burrow in and find somewhere nice and warm to stay for the winter,
Yeah, we hate voles.
We hate
Voles are
voles.
evil.
and they can ruin your yard.
I don't know what that is.
They're
It's a little
nice, but
demon mouse who eats the root. Yeah, that's right.
they are.
That's right, Amber. It's a demon mouse who eats the root of your grass. So your grass in the spring, you can tell where those little things were, because they've got little trails everywhere because they ate your grass all winter.
You know how you build ant farms in high school, or not high school, but and you could see them? That's what voles do basically in
To
your
your
yard.
yard.
I know.
Get a cat,
Get a cat, have a dog pee out
or
there.
let your cat
Yep.
go outside.
Yep.
Aaron.
Aaron.
I would. He ruins my neighbor's screen.
Oh.
It's an ongoing debate.
But also dogs too. Well, their urine and their dander keeps away squirrels and rabbits too. So,
Oh.
Interesting.
and voles. So,
Wow, that makes sense, because my neighbor and I had our perennials just ripped to shreds from rabbits, and they put down their dog last year. So I bet their dog kept those rabbits away.
They need a new dog.
Dang those rabbits.
your dog needs to go over there and pee on their perennials.
Yep. All right, Dwight.
Oh.
We got a job to do.
Another safety tip, because I think we all forget this, is to clean out your dryer vents, because those can cause house fires.
There was on Facebook today, somebody posted somebody cleaning out their dryer vent today, some local guy that did it, and it's windy out, and he's outside, and it's like a dust storm, and the house isn't that old.
So he's littering all the lint.
I know, that's kind of what I was thinking to
Littering
myself.
and cleaning the vents.
But there was a lot of dust coming out of that.
But I read an article too that someone, even if you check your lint trap after every load, or even before every load, there's still little bit particles that are getting into that
it's
vent.
still building up into that vent, and I think we forget about that vent quite a bit.
Okay.
We just had to have it cleaned out, ours cleaned out, snaked out because it was pretty, like our dryer was taking forever to dry, so you'd run it twice, so now you're using more electricity,
Getting it
and
hotter.
it's getting hotter, and you're more at risk for fires, and so we got it cleaned out. It made a huge difference.
And
So-
keep in mind, those dryer vents that you can replace them, they're cheap. They're like $8 for a new one. Instead of cleaning them out, if your dryer's really close to your exhaust pipe, get a new vent and vent it out again.
And the kits to vent it out or to clean it out are really cheap.
Yeah,
I
they
bought
are.
one at Menards for like, what, $10?
Oh yeah.
We haven't used it yet, but
Oh,
we have it.
I've got a dryer brush that I use because like my dryer's right by my wall where my exhaust fan is.
Well, and
where
also,
my exhaust is.
also making sure you have those little vent parts on the outside that cover that dryer vent, so no birds can make a nest in there, because that can be an issue too.
Is it a damper?
Damper.
Damper?
Yep.
Yeah, mine has like 3 little individual pieces that
Yep.
flutter.
There's another word for those, but I can't remember what it is.
So-
Dryer vent cover thingy.
That's the technical term.
Yeah.
Another thing you can do is clean your refrigerator coils. I wouldn't have thought of
What the
that.
heck does that mean? How about pull your fridge out?
Don't do that.
That's what you have to do to get to your refrigerator.
Why don't you do that?
Don't do that, because it's so dusty back there.
Oh,
But that's where your coils
the
are.
problem.
Over time, all kinds of dust, grease, dirt gets stuck to the coils behind your refrigerator.
Cat toys.
Why don't you just leave that for the next
and
owner?
Dog.
Macaroni.
Dog treats and everything.
Dust bunnies. That stuff all gets clogged up under there. Your coils are what your fridge uses to cool down. So if the fridge has to work extra hard, it's overheating or it's using more electricity. It's not being as efficient. So you can take a vacuum cleaner, unplug the fridge, pull it away from the wall, and find the coils. You can like use a brush attachment and kind of work at it too, or just use a cloth to kind of wipe them down and get anything the vacuum might have missed. But that'll help the efficiency and your electricity bill.
Nice.
And then it won't feel like your refrigerator is working so hard too.
And you don't have to buy a new refrigerator, because that ain't cheap.
Or
No.
cat toys, because I usually find about 50 under there. So it's like
That's where they
Christmas
are.
all
Mine
over
are all under
again.
the couch.
But it's crazy how much you don't think about moving the fridge or moving the stove, and you know, and maybe you do for spring cleaning, but I don't.
No.
No,
but
Amber
we
just,
should. But
I
we
do.
should.
Amber just waits till her sink falls into itself.
And then I call maintenance because that's still where I'm at. Yeah, I've never had that happen. Have you guys ever had a sink fall in?
No.
No, I don't think there's any maintenance tips to not have a sink fall in.
Yeah.
Make sure your clips that you
Don't do
install your sink with are tight.
I don't know that there were any. Still, I think it's just some sealant that they
Oh,
used,
they
which
should-
just doesn't seem right. I would think there should be a board
There should be
under
clips too and board.
there. Yeah. Oh well, not my problem.
Not
Just
Radiators.
her advice.
Radiators, Don. Tell me about radiators, because I wouldn't know the first thing about this.
not everybody has them, but some people do.
Right. So
For your heat, correct?
like on your boiler.
Mm-hmm.
So in each room, kind of looks like electric baseboard, but it's a radiator. So you're gonna want to bleed those out because you want fresh water running through them too.
So similar to a water, sorry, similar, I did not put my phone on airplane mode. Similar to a water heater flush.
Correct.
Correct?
Yep, and it gets
So-
the air out, so it makes them run.
When you don't bleed them, they like bang.
Yes, because then there's an air
Yeah.
pocket in it.
Really, it's really loud. My old apartment would do that. It'd be
Yeah.
super loud. And I just got used to it, and other people would be like, that's not normal.
Oh, I'm supposed to do something about that?
Yeah. And it actually, if you do that to your radiator, you know, water forced boilers, shall we say, are very efficient. And if you keep the maintenance up on them, they'll last forever. Like you can go into a house that was built in the 70s and their boiler is still there and it's fine as long as you are maintaining it.
And how
So-
exactly do you bleed a radiator?
I have no idea.
Oh, it says it right there.
To bleed
Sorry.
a radiator, release the valve and hold a rag underneath it to catch drips. You should hear air seeping out. When the sound stops, tighten the valve up. At least you read the title before you said it out loud.
Oops. All good. All good. That was a fun moment. That was funny. Dawn, you make.
I wasn't reading directions like normal.
No, you were giving us life experience, which is also great and
Mhm.
needed.
Well, I had somebody that asked me, they're probably going to list their house next year, and they have a boiler. And he's like, well, is that going to, you know, lower my value of my house? And I said, well, have you maintained? And he goes, that's what I did for a living. So
Yeah.
So
that thing is in probably perfect condition. So he'll be okay.
And you know what? You're gonna love your house if you're not having to deal with like those issues all the time.
Or clanging at 2 o'clock in the morning from
Yeah.
your radiator.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Another efficiency tip is to clean your range hood filter, even if it's your microwave filter, because apparently some of these girls didn't realize they had one. So how much oil and grease is built up in there? I don't even want to know.
And
Gotta
while you're
use
at it,
your
you
oven.
might as well clean your oven too.
Clean your oven while you're at it.
Oh,
So
yeah.
much maintaining.
Gross.
Can I pay somebody to do all this for me?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Let's put a plug in for precision cleaning.
Yes.
Yes.
Absolutely. Can they come to my
They
house
do our
tomorrow?
cleaning. Not just for our listings, but they've come in and did our own cleaning, and they're
Mhm.
amazing.
And life's a lot less stressful.
And I'm actually using them tomorrow for my buyer's house.
Ooh.
They're gonna clean it
Nice.
before they move in.
Oh, that's nice.
Cool.
That's
So-
a good feeling to come into a
Yeah,
clean,
because
clean
it's
house.
well, it's pretty dirty.
But the
so-
buyers are gonna move in when it's clean.
Absolutely.
And they'll feel
Yep.
better about
So
it.
they're cleaning at noon, and we're doing our final walkthrough at 5. So they'll actually have a
Oh,
good feeling.
nice. That's
So
good.
how do you clean your range hood filter?
Take it out and throw it in the wash machine. I mean your dishwasher. Or you
Or-
can just rinse it out with hot water. So
And Dawn dish soap.
and Dawn.
Dawn.
Use Dawn.
Dawn.
Who's Dawn?
Only Dawn.
Did you
Dawn's for the
know?
ducks.
I'm going to tell you all about Dawn
Yeah.
because that is my name. And Dawn dish soap actually will get grease out of your clothes too. So if you ever wash something and you dry it and you think it's set for life, try Dawn. It will take it out.
It gets the grease off the duckies.
Yep. And it will get it out of your clothes. I'm just telling you.
Thanks, Don.
Absolutely.
Thanks, Dawn.
You're welcome.
Tips
All
and
of the
tricks
Dawns.
from Dawn. I didn't put a lot more on there today because I wasn't sure how many like stories we'd have.
I thought those were some great tips.
Thanks.
A couple things I'm not even doing myself.
Anything else that you guys think you do out of your for your house to make
Like
it ready for winter?
efficiency or safety. We talked about changing your fire alarm batteries. Yep.
Mhm.
Flushing your water heater,
Yeah.
which is apparently is really easy to do.
Yeah.
Unless you have a marathon water heater, and then you don't need to do it.
Okay.
Ooh.
I do not.
Okay.
I didn't know that till Andy told me.
Thanks, Andy.
Thanks, Andy.
Thanks, Andy.
Yeah. He's like, oh, you got
That
one.
weather strip. Well, that's not really safety.
Oh, yeah, the
that we
weather strip.
talked
Well, that's
about
an
last
efficiency
week.
thing.
It's maintenance.
Yeah, is
Yep.
those weather strips for your windows and doors that'll help with
Yep.
the efficiency of the heat and electricity and whatever else.
I
Yeah,
think
that's good.
we're good.
Yeah.
Mhm.
We're good.
You will be fully maintained if you take all this advice.
Forever.
And depending on the age of your home or appliances, some of these won't apply, or you may need to look at that. Look into different methods. But if you did do your refrigerator every year, you probably get more life out of it. You know, if you did your range filter every year, you probably won't ever have to replace it. So, maintenance.
And if you were to break this down, you could do each of these in like 2 afternoons, probably.
Yeah.
So, do it.
Unless
Save
you're
your
crazy,
home.
and you just say, "I'm going to do this all today."
And then you hire somebody
good-
because you get frustrated.
It's a good fall cleaning day. Maintenance day.
Absolutely.
Well, and when you sell a home, you fill out disclosures. So this is something that you can put on your disclosures that hey, I bled the radiators, all my coils, my dampers clean for my dryer, so people know that you are maintaining it.
And an inspector is going to notice that stuff too. When they go through, they will be able to say, these people really took good care of their home.
Boom.
Boom.
Make
Boy.
it last.
All right, where were we for Tasty Tuesday?
We were at the delicious
Doolittles. Thank you, Doolittles, and thanks, Pat, for having us. You did a great job on your interview. I heard you're hearing all about it. I'll send you that video today. He's not on Facebook, so he asked for the video.
We couldn't find him.
Yeah,
Oh.
he's not on there.
Well, we
So.
had a Snapchat user guess and guess correctly.
Katie.
You
Katie.
are our winner, chicken dinner.
Katie who?
Katie, how do you say her last name?
Katie
Oh my God.
Meeps.
Carstensen.
Meeps?
Karst.
Carstensen.
Karsten.
You're her
says it.
longtime friend.
I know,
You
we've
should
been
how
like
to say her-
besties for like 5 years.
She
Let
doesn't
me
have
just
to
tell
have to
you,
get schooled
I've
on
never
that.
had to say Katie's name out loud, her last name out loud, and there's a reason for that. So thanks for calling me out, Erin.
You said, how do you pronounce her last name?
She's your friend. You should know.
You dug that. You're Dawn with the water pail. Just the water keeps coming
Yeah.
in.
One
We're
cup
good.
at a time. Okay,
So what are we doing with Tasty Tuesday? Moving on.
We're gonna bump it back to once a month because we're
We're
pretty
putting on
good.
some freshman
Pretty
15.
good with that winter weight right now.
Plus, it gets cold out. We don't know if we
And
want to go
plus
out
we
every
get
Tuesday.
busy in the winter with other things, holidays.
Yeah, we've got a lot going on.
We will be maintenancing.
What?
That's a bad word. Maintenancing our houses. That's what we'll be doing, right?
So it'll give people more chances to guess, better chances to win because we do it kind of quickly from the time we eat to the time we know it's a winner.
We will also be doing our connections luncheons, and we can give you updates on that on our podcast too. It's a lot of good information that we get there once a month.
Yeah. So
On those Tuesdays.
We have Buyers and Booze Monday, the
Coming
29th.
Monday.
Free food, free education, free childcare, free candy.
Please come.
free candy.
free
Soup
candy.
bar.
Soup bar. For buyers or sellers, if you just want to know what the market's like, or if you want to know how to get started as a buyer.
Or you just have been listening to
Cetera,
our podcast and you think we're
cetera.
cool, come hang out.
Right.
Come visit.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And it's quick. It's not an 8-hour group. It's 2 hours. You get free food. What's the harm? Something to
it's-
do on a Monday night.
It's pretty informal too. Like people come in, a little bit late because they were at work or whatever, and we all stop and look. But then you're good to go.
We'll we'll have a lender and home inspector and a homeowner's insurance agent, plus us talking real estate.
Mm-hmm.
So
Lots of
join
good,
us right here.
lots of good information.
So if you want more information on Buyers and Booze or just us in general, again, we're a client-focused team. We focus on the client one-on-one. You don't get shuffled off between each agent. We're here for you, whatever stage of your process. Look us up, Diamond Realty Associates on Facebook. Tell us you're going to Buyers and Booze because it's going to be a fun time. You can also find us at buysellfmhomes.com. And as always,
Stay classy, FM. Ooh, Dawn, look at you.
I am smooth.
damn it.